We're getting ready for the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. It's going to be ringing in about 7 minutes or so. We, of course, will take you there live as we do every day. In the meantime, I can tell you pre-market trading is kind of up and down. As you can see, the Dow is up, but the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq are down. Just a couple of other blemishes there on the screen. We'll take you to New York for the opening bell, though, and see if there are any changes once trading officially starts for the day. That will happen in about 7 minutes or so. First, though, let's get you over to Emily Finn. Emily, good morning.
Good morning, Terrence. Thank you. It is time now for our daily dose of dollars and common sense with American Sunrise Early Edition host and the guy behind the Jake's Take Substack, Jake Novak. Jake, thanks for being with us. So the markets caught a different chill yesterday, and it's still hanging around today. What's putting a new scare on Wall Street?
You know, Emily, yesterday David and I were joking. I was joking with him about how the big banks, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, they're all doing great. They're doing super fantastic. The mid-sized to smaller banks, not so much. They revealed yesterday that they have got a lot of bad loans, more than expected bad loans. People who aren't paying back their loans on their books. A couple of banks in particular, Zions Bancorp, Western Alliance Bancorp. If this is ringing a bell to any of you folks, 2 years ago in 2023, these regional banks caused a big scare in the market. A couple of them even collapsed. That ended up getting contained. So yesterday we had a 300-point loss on the Dow, which in percentage points is really not much. It's not even 1%. And it's rebounding this morning because both of those banks I just mentioned, Zions and Western Alliance, they're rebounding a little bit this morning. Markets are looking at it, getting a nice rest and saying, this is bad, but it's not the worst thing in the world. We don't think this is going to spread too much. Something to keep your eye on, though, because 2 years ago, we had a sell-off for a couple of weeks on these banks not doing well. So I'm going to take a look at it, but for now, it seems to be contained.
So, Jake, the budget deficit did something that it hasn't done in forever. Explain that for us.
Yeah, it shrank. We learned overnight, late yesterday, that the budget deficit for 2025, fiscal 2025, is over, and it went down. Now, this had a lot to do with tariffs, the money that is coming into the Treasury because of tariffs, also because people are doing better and they're paying more in taxes, so that helped reduce the deficit. Also, we had a trade surplus in September of billions, almost $300 billion, or between $200 and $300 billion. That's a lot. So, look, we still have a huge debt. We're still spending too much money, et cetera, et cetera. But you can bet that if this were a Democrat president and the deficit shrank during his year in office, first year in office, there would be a parade in every mainstream news media outlet. So let's be happy about this. This is a good trend, and hopefully it will continue.
So, Jake, there's a new milestone for car and truck buyers in America. It's a bit of a sticker shock, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not happy about this. The average price for a new car or truck, just a new vehicle sale in America, has now hit $50,000. I'm still old enough to remember the Ice Cube song where there's like how he makes a rap lyric about how, oh my God, this guy's buying a $50,000 car. Well, we're all buying $50,000 cars now. My goodness, I don't love this trend, but I want to preempt the mainstream news media because they're going to try to do this. They're going to try to blame President Trump and the tariffs for this. No sale. Since the tariffs were announced, the price of new cars and trucks in this country is not up even 1%. It's up 0.7%. So it's not the tariffs doing this. This is a trend that started well before then. Everyone calm down. They're going to do it anyway, Emily. But it's not the tariffs. But still, 50 grand for an average price. I don't love it. But what can I say? Keep your old cars well maintenance. That's all I can advise you to do.
Yeah. So, Jake, before we let you go here, I do want to let our viewers know that we are getting some images of John Bolton arriving at a federal courthouse today. Want to get your thoughts on what you think we are going to see.
Well, there is a financial aspect to this, isn't it? There are these swamp creatures, these people who are career bureaucrats in office, both Republican and Democrat, who think that they have a right to use classified information that they've been able to see over the years, keep it at their house so they can use it to write a book one day. That's what Bolton's charges are really related to. And I'm really, really tired of this. First of all, because hardly anyone actually reads these books, for one thing. Second of all, honestly, you do not have the right to these documents just because you participated in some of these things. It's as simple as that. That's what public service is all about. It's not about you getting notes for a book or your lecture tour. It's really quite annoying. That's what's going on here. There's a financial aspect to this. Both Republicans and Democrats have been guilty of it for years. I would really like to see the Trump administration put an end to it. And this indictment hopefully will. Hopefully this will send a chilling effect to other folks who want to do this down the line.
So what do you think the Trump administration should do? Like, what does accountability look like here?
Well, it has to go beyond just the administration telling people not to do this. I mean, I'm sure other administrations have done that. I think it's something in a very Trumpian way. I'd love for him to call out some of these book publishers and say, hey, wait a minute. You guys don't make any money on these books. Where are you getting all this money to give John Bolton and Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris all this money for books that no one is buying and reading? Right. This is money laundering. Donors to these particular politicians and ex-politicians somehow make an investment in Random House or Hatchet or one of these other companies. And I think the Trump administration could say, we're going to look into this and see if this is an illegal campaign donation or a legal form of bribery. And that will stop those publishers from doing this nonsense real fast.
It's so funny that you brought that up, Jake. I can't believe that Kamala Harris actually wrote a book. Like, who is buying this? Nobody is buying this at all. Jake, we so appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
All right, let's head back to Terrence in Denver for the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange, sponsored by AMAC.
The Association of Mature American Citizens is the conservative voice for Americans 50 and older. AMAC is fighting for the values that you hold dear. Join today. Together, we can write the course of America.
We're coming up on the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. It's going to ring here in just over a minute. I can tell you that pre-market trading not looking so hot. Here's a current look at how the stock markets are looking. It looks like the Dow just went back to the green, but just barely. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq are down. Just a couple of other bright spots. It looks like gold and crude oil are up, but silver is down right now. So there's still a lot of work to be done, particularly if you're going to be one of the people investing today. Hopefully it ultimately turns out to be a very good day of investing, but at the moment, not a whole lot to be happy about or excited about. But a lot can change quite literally within seconds, so we'll see exactly how things are ultimately looking once the opening bell rings. Again, we'll get you here momentarily. The bell should be ringing. Let me look at my clock. Yeah, we're less than a minute away, and then we'll hear the opening bell ringing. We'll get a good sense, of what the markets are looking like on this final day of trading of the week, on this Friday of trading. Let's see if we can't get you there to New York for the opening bell. I don't know who's actually at the podium today. We'll find that out momentarily, but you'll ultimately hear the applause, and then you'll hear the opening bell. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. As promised, the applause is underway. People jumping up and down there in the back, which means that the bell is going to ring here in short order, and then we'll get a good sense of how things are looking on this final day of trading for the week. Hopefully it starts off on a much better note than it is right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The bell is ringing, which means the markets are now officially open and people are running like crazy, getting those first trades in. Here's how things are looking on our big board. The Dow, again, just in the green, but barely. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq are down, as is gold. A couple of bright spots there at the bottom now. It looks like silver, I think that was, and crude oil are up. But this board goes to show you that it very well, okay, that's gold that's up. VIX is down, but it goes to show you that trading can be topsy-turvy. It can go up and down just like that. We'll continue to monitor it for you, though, throughout the day. Still to come here on American Sunrise, new revelations about what really happened with the January 6th investigation. We're learning now that the Biden-era FBI collected millions of lines of phone data from GOP lawmakers. First, though, a quick look at this day in history. Well, it was on this date in 1989 that Game 3 of the World Series was canceled as the Loma Prieta earthquake struck Northern California just 30 minutes before the game was scheduled to begin at Candlestick Park. That, of course, is in San Francisco. That game was eventually played 10 days later. We're back with more American Sunrise.